I'm going to put you on the spot because I've been tracking this for a while. It's been like 5 years since we've beaten an LPL or an LCK team in a best of 5. Can you look at that camera right there? Actually, that camera, I think that one's yours. Can you look at that camera and give hope to the NA players? Are we gonna beat an LPL or LCK team in a best of 5? Can we do it?
Why do you do this to me?
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Pros. This time, LCS Lock-in Finals Edition. Congratulations to Lyon for being our LCS Lock-in champions. We got Inspired, Berserker and Reignover, coach, joining us today. And I got to start, win moment. Now that you've had a moment to breathe here, Inspired, how are you feeling after walking away with another championship, another title?
I'm happy. I honestly didn't think we're gonna win throughout the season. Like the beginning looked pretty rough. I thought we can level up, but I didn't think we were gonna I didn't think we were gonna have such a dominant playoff. It kind of felt like we didn't lose games, more like we kind of made mistakes ourselves. That's why we even dropped one game to each team. It felt like we never really got surprised and stuff like that. So it felt too easy, it was easier than expected.
Yeah, you started in the lower bracket, 3-0 FlyQuest, then 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, TL Sentinels, and then C9. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to hear that you're thinking, because the beginning of the year started really rough, so expectations versus reality. Where did you think going into playoffs that you would be able to push to? Like, do you think it was like, we can make it to Brazil, but only for America's Cup, and we're not going to make the push for first stand?
I mean, I knew that the difference between every team in the league is not high, so if you can beat one of them, like you might as well beat all of them. So I think once we beat TL, like I could tell that there is a high chance that we are gonna win, because like Sentinels was a slightly better team than TL, and Cloud9 was just slightly better than both of them, in my opinion. So like the difference is not that huge. So yeah, I just knew that going into each series, the opponent is gonna be slightly better, but not like a level better. So yeah.
Well, if everyone was pretty close, Berserker, who do you think was the hardest? Like personally for you, the toughest matchup on your lower bracket run to get the title?
I mean, for me, tier was like most tough game for me, because like without the tier and FlyQuest, I don't think like they are like good ban line. I felt like, but when he faced the Fly, like I don't know why, like feel like just like must just get too much pressure. So that was the easy one, but tier. They are like a lot of experience, so they don't like really nervous. So for me, tier was like most hard game for me.
Yeah, I mean that one felt maybe one of the closer ones. Again, all of them were 3-1, so who's to say? But how much of that do you attribute to kind of Core JJ and the influence that he has in bot lanes? Because I feel like every time TL bot laners, or every time players talk about TL's bot lane, it's always Core JJ is just so experienced and like such a nuisance to get through.
They are good, but like I don't think they are like that good. They just like good at just like going front in lining phase, you know what I mean? So like if we just one mistake, they like punish well, you know? But like if you don't make mistake, it's like really easy to play like burst Team Liquid, I felt like. But we made a mistake in the line phase, so we got like punished 2 times. Like we got like dive 2 times, and then game was like kinda really hard, I felt like.
How do you feel about today and how you and Isles did in the bot lane? Do you feel like there were any big mistakes you made, or like looking back, things you would change?
I don't really remember what I played today.
Sometimes it's tough to know the game you just
Lulu,
walked out from.
you guys were just pushing. That game was chill.
Yeah.
Ezreal
Karma game 1.
That one was crazy. You got a big lead there.
You guys did well too.
Yeah.
What was game 3?
Game 3 was
Ash
Seraphine.
And
last game
against
was
what? Against Mel. I mean, that Mel Nami, that game decided the series. Like if they won that game, I feel like they would have won the series.
Could be.
And we played against their Mel Nami or like Mel something one time in scrims as Ash Seraphine, and it didn't look good. And this time we didn't even think about it. When they locked it in, I was a bit scared.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I had to cheese to win that game. If nothing happened, like it would be a tough game. Successful, luckily the cheese was successful and we got some early lead, and then we managed to win. But I feel like if we lost that game 3, maybe we would have lost 3-1. Who knows?
Today was kind of chill. We just like playing for like just like matchup. I feel like when you have when we should have the prio, we had the right prio. But like I'm just not sure about like start game, because like when I see the like Mel Nami, I thought they might just like perma push and then just like bully in the tower like our tower, and then just keep hitting tower, and then we can't do anything. Cause like even I just arrow the mare, he's just gonna press W, and then nothing happened. So yeah, that's what I expected, but I don't know. They just like don't really playing aggressive like when I play that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was kind of chilling, but I was like kind of surprised that like I got one shot in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was
like
actually crazy.
Yeah.
2Q into ulti, one
yeah,
shot.
I mean, it was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
Got a little crazy. Reignover, I want to get your perspective on the series that we just went, and then also just kind of the playoff run so far. Like, what was prep like going into C9, and were things like the Mel like out of the blue for you, or did you feel like you kind of had an idea of what they were going to bring to the table today?
I mean, honestly, the C9 series, I thought it's gonna be very raw. Like, especially like we've been having some rough schedule. You know, I think the guys are pretty tired as well. And C9 was just watching all our pick bans and games, so they probably have like a good prep against us. I mean, the Melt thing, I mean, I think it was good that we actually get like vaccinated before, because we did play against it one time, and then I think we did have a feedback about like, as long as we maintain the push on bot lane, then we could still be fine, because like from our perspective, we do want to be able to like, you know, contest early game, not avoid Dragon Team fight with Ash Surfing, but I think it was helpful that I think our bot lane had pretty good idea, so we were able to like maintain the push, so it was pretty good.
I like that term, overall, vaccinated. I'm going to use that one again.
Overall, the series, I think C9 was like kind of like same as the other series, where like we were more patient as a team, and then they were the one who's getting like more desperate. So, and I think we did problem solve like really well like throughout the game, and then like even after the first games lost, I think the team's vibe was like pretty good even after the loss. And I would say like game 2, I think we put our players in a pretty bad draft situation where like we probably should have lost, but like our players just too good. We end up winning that game, so that's probably when I thought like we're just gonna win the series.
Yeah. Was that the Saint Ahri solo kill? Was that game 2? Yeah. That was
yeah, we were saying if you should have picked Annie or Ahri, and then the last second we said, okay, go Ahri, not Annie, and then they locked in Annie, and Sven says, oh, Ahri is bad against Annie.
It's like a moment when you see that, it's like, oh, we all know that the draft is so bad, and we should lose, but then like we're not saying it. You know?
But then Saint gets his big moment where he all chats at the end of the game to APA and like, you lost this matchup. What's it like playing with Saint against APA? Because I've loved him kind of coming out of the shell, like starting to all chat the guy.
I mean, I told him before the series that he's most likely gonna win lane, so I hope he doesn't get too cocky like when he's playing, and that's exactly what happened in game 1. Like he was winning lane and like just forgot about all the fundamentals in the game. It felt like, I just told him that if you're winning, you can't forget the fundamentals, because that will make you lose. And I think that's what he focused more on next games, because I knew that he's gonna win lane, but the problem is if he starts winning and he gets too cocky and starts making mistakes. And I think he just fixed that after game 1.
Yeah. I want to go back to something that you had actually said earlier, because it came back to my mind. You mentioned that game 3, you felt that winning that game versus the Mel draft is what decided the entire series. Well, why do you feel like that game in particular mattered so much? Was it about mental of C9? Was it about like draft gap?
I think it's both mental and draft. Like after that, like you can never expect what's gonna happen in the draft in game 4, and it's very often. I feel like the draft is very one-sided in the later stages. So like imagine if you are losing 2-1 in Fearless and you go into game 4 and 5, enemy can coin flip a winning draft once and they already win the game. So you're in the 1-2 position. It's kind of hard to come back.
Yeah.
And the Mel was for sure a big pick for them. Like they were prepared into Ash Seraphine to play the Mel. So I think winning the game like that just puts them in such a bad disadvantage, because now they have to actually figure out 2 winning drafts. And if they make mistake in game 4 or game 5 draft, then the whole thing is over for them. And that's why I think if it's 1-1, winning game 3 in best of 5 Fearless is like really important.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, being on the back foot going into that game 4, game 5, I can understand. Yeah, a lot of champions are pinch. Even like Thanatos, he played every single one of his champions.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like
it was all banned out.
Like Thanatos, especially as a player, like he's really scary in the early games, but as top lane goes deeper into Fearless, it feels like it has a bit less impact, because you can't really pick like a really good champion. So it was really bad for them to lose that game 3.
Me and Rupi was definitely sweating after game 3 draft, because the way the series went is because like we have like Note, right? Like the weapons we have. Where like a lot of champions that we wanted to play, like or like the comps was already like getting removed. So like going to like game 4 and 5, like we didn't really have like that clear of an idea.
Yeah, Malphite, Nocturne, they took away both of those from Inspired, right?
Yeah, definitely the game 3 winning was big for us. I agree. Yeah.
That's cool. Berserker, I want to point something out here. You beat C9 in the finals. They have not won finals since you were on the team. So I want to get your thoughts on Sven, the matchup there. Playing against an old teammate's obviously fun, I imagine, but what was it like for you playing against C9, the org that you had won on in the past, and knowing that you might be the secret sauce? I mean, obviously they haven't won, since you were on the roster.
I mean, for today, I mean, it's just like feel weird that like I'm playing both C9, and then like there are Thanatos, and then like Bleber, Sven, and Vulcan, my ex-teammates. So I mean, it still was kind of weird for me, but like also it's like kind of happy to meet them like in the finals. So I mean, I was enjoying about that. Also, like I mean, C9 didn't win the single like split like after like 2024, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, just feel like even in 2024.
In 2024, they didn't win either.
Yeah, 23, I believe. Yeah, the last one.
They won. In 2023 was the last one?
Yeah, and then you were still on the roster for 24, though, yeah. You had Sven and then Vulcan as supports, so swapped out.
I mean, just feel like, I mean, in 2024, I was on team, and then like I felt like there are Jojo and then like Clever, and then like I mean for me like I wasn't like played that great like that year. I felt like I mean also like play style was like really different like Vulcan and Sven. I felt like because like Vulcan is like really like the just like board or like Lock-in kind of champion. Just like push, and if you can push then just push, and then like just like just keep moving around the map, and then he liked to like vision play or like play engaging champion. But Jiben is like he liked to like line bullying champ. He liked playing like Lulu or like Kalista Renata or like Lucian Nami kind of champ. So I wasn't like I mean I wasn't 그걸 뭐라 하지? 적응?
Adapting?
Yeah, I wasn't like adapting well that like kind of like situation, because like when I won the like split, I was like just playing like Jerry Lulu or like Apelios Lulu kind of champ, and then like since I play like Varus or like kind of weak line, weak side line, then I wasn't playing that good. I felt like and then like when I watched the 2020 like last year C9, they didn't like. I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest. Like when I watch them, they played good, but like when they go to the like playoff,
they're cursed.
To be honest, like I mean, also like Bleber is like kind of in thing. Like when I see the LCS, so I mean maybe like he got just too much pressure. I think.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I want to talk more about Blabber. Maybe we'll get inspired thoughts on that. But first off, I want to say, what do you think the biggest improvement you've seen from yourself is? Because you went back to Korea, played out in DN Freaks. Not the best year for you, and then when you factor 2024, and that's kind of 2 tough years. And I know I asked you right in the moment on stage, what's it feel like to prove you can still win? But where do you feel like you've grown as a player and improved since the last time you had won a title?
What did you say?
What do you think you've improved at? What have you gotten better at?
Like, okay. I mean, like, that was tough year for me, like last year. But like, still, there were like Pyoshik and Life, which like they're a good player. I still think like he won the like Worlds, so like I learned from him a lot. I mean, he just like, I mean, what I learned from him is like just how to make a space like in the team fight, or like just I mean you should do that like when you're weak side or like strong side, like just play with the jungle, and then like just most important thing is like keep strong mental, you know what I mean? Like I got just like 0 win and then like 13 lose like last year, so like I was like kind of mentally out, to be honest. But like still like just like you should play like your play, even you lose. I mean, I was like trying to just like, I mean, to be honest, like we weren't good at like sidelining, especially like after 15 minutes. Like we want like team when I feel just like we don't care about like sideline at all, and then we don't know about like when you're grouping. So I was just like keep trying to just tell them like when you guys should come or like kind of things. But I'm playing ADC, so like sometimes like I'm wrong, and then like I'm just keep trying to like help them, but like make me like my play also bad, you know. So like yeah, I mean just like I really realized that I should keep focusing on myself, and then you know just like yeah, just keep strong mental.
Now you're on a team that plays side lanes very well, I would say. I feel like that's one of Lyon's strong suits is getting gold in the side lanes. We'll talk about that in a bit, but first I want to touch back on the Blabber point. Inspired, first off, is C9 cursed? You've played against C9 enough playoffs now. They always end in playoffs lower than they do in the regular season. Are they cursed, or is there something else going on? Like, what's going on at C9?
I don't know. They have to face against my team always, so that's
You're the problem.
first issue. I wouldn't say that they are choking that much in the finals. I mean, like in the playoffs. I would say that the last years, like last year and the year before that, it was more like after losing to my team, their mental just got destroyed because they were doing really good in the regular season, and then they always lose to 100 Thieves for the past 2 years, like in the lower like elimination games. And I always, when they went into those games, I was thinking, nah, no way, C9 will clear them. But it felt like they got so hard mentally affected by losing the upper bracket that they just couldn't figure out what was their issues. And when I was looking at their games, it seems like they got some takeaways from lose against us, but it was not the correct takeaway. So I could like tell that they had like coaching issues. They didn't know what was the issue that made them lose. It felt like it was really bad at realizing what the issue is. And I don't really think it's like specific player issue. I think it's more of a game decision making and that they still need to figure out. And I think they're still making similar mistakes. I don't know why it's taking them so long to like learn that, but it keeps happening. And like talking about Blabber, I don't think he's choking necessarily. I think he's a good player. I think I just have very creative ways on how I wanna adapt to the games, especially in like playoffs and clutch situations. So yeah, I think I'm just a bit too creative sometimes for him. And he just gets surprised. But overall, I wouldn't say he's making like a game-losing mistakes, especially today. I think the last year in the final, you could tell on Jarvan, he like EQ'd him and they kind of threw the whole game 5. But prior to that, he was playing very well. I feel like his level 1 was also good. He invaded me as Jarvan, and he had a really good position in the game. And looking back at the voice comms, like they just needed someone to tell them that, guys, this game is completely over. Just don't do anything and we'll win. But instead, they were saying stuff like, Caitlyn has no flash for like 40 seconds. Let's try to kill her. And that's something you can't do if you want to finish the game. Like, it felt like he got kind of team pressure to do something. But sometimes when you're in a good situation, you just need to realize that you just don't have to do anything and the game is kind of free. And I feel like they're in those positions really often where the game is free, just don't do anything, and they still do something and they just lose the game. So yeah, I don't know, they just need to be more calm, I feel like, and they will win.
I get that feedback a lot in my solo queue games as well. It's like, just stop doing stuff. Just let the game happen. Reignover, I want to get your thoughts as a coach, because you've been coaching for a couple of years now, and this is a conversation that's gone around. Like, is the lower bracket a buff? Because you guys played 3 series in a row, 3 days in a row, all 3 ones. Do you feel like it's better to start in the lower bracket and actually work your way up and get that warm up going in? Because then, like to Inspired's point, like C9, like this time they didn't drop down from upper bracket and have a lower bracket run, but often the team in the finals, they don't know what team they're going to have to prepare for. It can be kind of tough if they're coming in cold. So what do you think about that, like buff lower bracket?
I think it depends, but like this time, it's definitely rough because of the schedule, like 3 best of 5 in a row. I think that's rough this time. But generally, I would say in my experience, it is a buff because like usually when you're a team that falls to the lower bracket, that means you probably have a lot of problem as a team that you need to like fix or adjust or be on the same page. And I do think we were the team that had a lot of problem, a lot of issues that we need to address. And I think the 2-week prep timing definitely helped us a lot. I think we did improve a lot during that time. And then just playing one best of 5, one by one, getting more confident, being on the momentum, being on the flow, just like winning, just generally winning more game as a team, just build a lot of trust in between each other as a player too. And, just knowing or being more clear about the win condition of the game as well that you're playing. I think those just keep stacking, right? And then like, for example, like let's say like C9, they played way less game than us, which like they were like only 1 game loss, right? Before they play us, and then they're put into this situation where they like suddenly lose 2 games in 1 day, and then just being about like if they lose 1 more game, they're gonna lose. Like like those kind of thing can already be prevented. Like mentally, you're already trained as well in the losers bracket as well. So like, I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on both sides, like winning through losers bracket, winning through winners bracket.
Yeah.
First, like for winners bracket, I had to make sure that my teammates are not too cocky. Like,
that as well.
like being in the winners bracket doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
and you can't disrespect your opponent. So I always had to do that and make sure that everyone is like clear with this. And I feel like losers bracket is nice for laners especially, because I feel like just the fact that we already laned yesterday on stage, like a lot of games, coming into game one, you are kind of fresh laning, and enemies didn't play on stage for like 2 weeks or something. I don't know how long they didn't play, but they didn't play on stage for a while. So for sure, for jungle it doesn't matter because you are like just clearing camps. It doesn't do anything. But for laner, like you are locked in from minute one, from first wave. You are locked in because you just played yesterday. And for them, it's like, oh, yesterday we had chill day, watching the games, and today we have to actually play. So it might take you like a game or two to adjust, but as like if you drop a game, it's suddenly you have to adjust really fast because if you lose one more, you might lose the whole series. And yeah, I think that's both ways. If you are in the upper bracket, you need to be really like confident. You know what you are doing. You know what works for you, and be clear with that. And when you are in the lower bracket, you can have this momentum advantage.
Yeah. But you also need stamina because you're playing multiple days in a row. Yeah.
Like stamina was actually big. I was feeling really tired today. Like already yesterday I was pretty tired, and today I was feeling really tired before the game.
Were you feeling tired, Berserker?
Yeah, I might sleep now.
Yeah, I know that you two were talking before we went on of like, okay, are we going to get dinner afterwards? It's like, are we getting dinner or are we taking naps? What's the
I
game
think it
plan?
might be a nap angle.
Well, Reignover, you mentioned that you had 2 weeks to not play any games. What do you think were the biggest fixes that the team was able to come up with in that 2-week period? Because the difference between regular season to playoff run Lyon was pretty stark. So what were some of the quick fixes that you were able to implement, and maybe any credit that you want to give out to anybody?
I mean, I think the biggest impact thing was just us. Let's say, I mean, it's just like when we have like a goal or objective that we want to play off. Like even though we say yes, let's do that. Like often you're just not on the same page because like the meaning of playing for that objective, it's just different, right? For everyone. And then like, often your teammate just doesn't move as how you expected, it's just not be in the position that you expected, like I think we had a lot of fix on those kind of timing. And then because we're not on the same page on those things, like we had a lot of accident happening on early game, like especially the DSG series.
Well, one that I've heard other coaches say is like, oh, set up Dragon, but not every player knows or has
exactly
the same game
what's
plan.
the step of it, right?
Yeah.
I think we just make sure our early games are more clean and then on the same page. And then once our early games don't get too bad, we are usually a team, like especially Casper is like a really insane in-game shot caller. So he always like have a good idea how we're gonna play the game. So as long as the early game was cleaner, like our practice gets cleaner, then our mid-game practice gets more cleaner. So like we just have that momentum where like we just have like very good scrim days over and over and over. Just get a lot of confidence. I think it's just like snowballing really well.
Nice.
And then that's why the 2 weeks was really good. Yeah.
Berserker, what's it like playing with the shot caller, like Inspired? Because this is probably a new experience for you.
Yeah. I mean, he, like, Casper really know about the, like, just win condition, I felt like. Yeah, I mean, he just know, like, when you're drafting, and then, like, if champ is selected, he just know, like, what should we do exactly. So it just like really helped for me, like just like learn about that. I feel like, and then I do think that like I already learned like from him a lot. So it really helped for me. And then he just know like sidelining where. I mean, even in game, it's. I just think that it's really hard that like you realize the in game, like after game. Every people just can review after you rewatch the game. But like in game, he just realized what's going on in the game, and then just like decide like what he want like for the win. It's really insane for our team. I feel like
What's it like as a coach working with a player like Inspired?
I mean, it's just my job's so easy. I mean, he's just doing my job, so it's just okay. It's just like just like as what Berserker said, I think the reason why we're so successful is because I feel like our team, our problem solving is very quick. Like like as you said, like after the game, obviously, we can watch the game and then problem solve. But like it's really important during the series or like best of 5 or just generally throughout the game, like you being able to problem solve after you lose a team fight, you instantly problem solve. This is the reason why we lose the team fight, and being able to fix that and then approach the next team fight, or like mid game macro, whatever it is. Casper is definitely like a big voice of helping us problem solve in the game. So I think that's why our scrims we get a lot, and then stage we solve the problem very quickly. So we're able to like move on really quickly as a team. Yeah.
Have you ever disagreed with anything? Because I mean, you're an ex-juggler, a legend. Immortal's almost undefeated split, and then you've been coaching for a while. So have there been moments where the two of you have butt heads?
I don't know.
Not sure. I don't think so. I don't think that much. That there wasn't like that big of a collision.
Yeah, I think the jungle was very different from when
True,
Reignover was a player.
Completely different game, basically.
I think the game was really different. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Inspire, where do you get that confidence from then? Because we've heard this from a lot of other teammates you've had, coaches that you've worked with, that you just have this really strong vision of how you want to play the game. But on top of that, something that I don't think it's talked about as much is the confidence that you have to communicate how you think the game should be played. And then you look at how many times you've won. It's like, well, clearly you have a good idea of how to win in League of Legends. So where do you say your confidence comes from to be opinionated about how your team should play?
I think I'm just pretty, like, I don't really put much emotions into the game. I think I'm very, like, I have an idea and I will just follow that no matter how people are feeling around me and stuff like that. And I'm also good at realizing what my teammates are good at and bad at, so I can put them in the best situation for them. Like, yeah, I'm really fast at reading a player and see what are his strengths or weaknesses and try to avoid his weaknesses as much as possible and just push him towards his strengths. And I think drafting is also a big part, because obviously if we are drafting for a winning lane somewhere and that lane loses, then I can't do anything. I'm not a magician. But yeah, that's why I'm trying to tell people when they are winning, like how they should progress the game. And if you are in a losing matchup, like how should you try to help your team in order to not lose the game and just wait until your opportunity comes. Because I feel like if people don't really know that this game is their job to carry, then they might not try to play as aggressive. And some other games, if their job is just to play as safe as possible, don't give openings for enemies, they will try to do stuff on their own because they are just playing the game. So they like want to get the lead, but that was not actually their job. So it's like, I'll tell them this game you don't actually have to do much. Like you should just try to like not be an opening for enemy team. And yeah, I think drafting overall, gold-wise, I think I kind of know which champion will benefit from gold the most in the game. It felt like a lot of the games, enemies were giving a lot of gold to the champions on our team that were scaling well in order to get like a dragon or something like that. But yeah, it just felt like it's not really worth it. I feel like in the current meta, with the plates never disappearing, you will always get gold. Like you don't have to rush for plates. And as long as you don't get the fourth dragon, the dragons don't really do anything. Like as long as you gave up 3, but you are not giving the 4th one, then just the gold bid will matter. So I think I'm just good at like knowing what will matter the most in the current game state.
Interesting. Well, you mentioned at the start there, you're good at identifying your teammates' strengths and weaknesses. What's Berserker's strengths?
His strength is laning phase for sure. He will be fine in lane in losing matchups and win lane in winning matchups. I think his weakness so far that I saw was actually his team fighting, which I didn't expect. Like I felt like he was not aggressive enough in a lot of team fights, especially yesterday, that one game with Yunara. Oh no, not yesterday, against TL, when they invaded our red and he played Yunara and like Malphite ulted in and he like played so safe. I was talking to him about the game.
Yeah.
Like I knew that something went wrong in the game and I didn't know what. And then I had to rewatch it. So I feel like sometimes he was like having this mindset of hyper carry rather than just throwing his body for the team. But I think that was his like biggest weakness. And I feel like that's what people didn't use well on C9. Like I feel like in C9, you could have drafted, when he was on C9, he could have drafted anything bot lane and he would still have good condition in lane. And it felt like they were playing around bot lane too much. Like I feel like if you are playing too much around your winning lane, you are just sacrificing someone on the map. But with someone on like Berserker compared to other ADCs, you could just leave the bot lane in isolation and just make sure that the rest of the map is stable. And bot lane will always be in a good spot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what the weakness of Cloud9. They were like playing too much around it rather than just trying to solve the other issues on the map.
Yeah.
And I think that's like biggest strength.
Well, I mean, Berserker is so good in team fights. I think, like, yeah, that seems like from our perspective on the broadcast, that was also the goal. It's like get gold into Berserker's hands and then just let you win a team fight with Zeri or
I mean, team fights is like mechanical stuff. I feel like laning phase is the hardest, like to be actually having impact. And I think Berserker just has impact without much pressure from his team. Like it's not like me and Sven are spending a lot of time bot side. Usually you just take the first grab if you can, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because then enemy bot lane has a bit worse situation early game. But from there it's just pure 2v2 and just don't really put much attention there. And I think going into team fights, that's where you can actually always as well improve. Because I feel like sometimes Berserker was playing a bit too scared, as I said. Sometimes playing a bit too aggressive. It's like knowing your job and knowing that you have to step up first sometimes for the team, but sometimes you just need to wait for your team to step up first and make space for you. And I think once you realize, and once you are really fast on realizing like which one of two you should be doing, like should you be actually the one going first or should you be the one waiting, then you are like a really good player if you realize it really fast in the game.
Well, I mean, like Berserker, it's adapting, you know, being an adaptable AD carry for sure. Well, I want to bring our conversation now because, you know, you won LCS Lock-in, but you have another tournament ahead of you now because First Stand is right around the corner. So I want to start talking about what's next for Lyon and what's going to come forward. Real quick, we're still, as of recording this, we don't know who the LPL representatives are going to be, but you're going to have Gen.G, BNK, Furex, G2, Team Secret Wales, and Loud alongside you. So Reignover, first off, I'm going to throw it to you. Give me some hope. Give the NA viewers watching some hope. How's NA going to do? How's Lyon going to do against the competition that you see so far?
I mean, hard to tell. I mean, it's just like, I guess we got a lot during this playoff run. I do think, you know, compared to the other team, like, for example, you know, like, I mean, like last year when we go First Stand as TL, we did beat the KC 2-0. So I'm hoping even this time us NA beating EU is like a first goal. Not sure. I think I will need to watch all other regions game first.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But I do feel pretty good compared to last year's TL. I think just February. Right in this time, I do think our team's general level is higher than the usual team I've been coaching. So I do think we'll do pretty good compared to the most of NA teams. Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? I'll take it. Pretty good compared to the most of the teams. And as long as we can beat G2, that's what I really want. Berserker, I want to get your thoughts on some of the LCK representatives because you were just competing against some of these guys. We had Gen.G, BNK, Furex. First off, have you been keeping up with LCK and, you know, watching the competitors? Like, do you have an understanding of kind of how Gen.G or BNK Furex play?
Yeah, I mean, I watch like almost every game, every like LCK game. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, even like last year when I played both like BNK, they're like 5 men just like play really aggressive, you know. So like, just like for example, like in team fight, if someone go, they're just like 5 men just go.
Just instantly.
Yeah, just go. So like even that's like not good angle. If 5 men just following that, it's somehow sometimes it's working. You know what I mean? So like if I mean I thought that like if they just like keep just like trying to be aggressive and then like just like know that like when they should do something or like not, then like they gonna be really good team. But this year they are looking really good. So yeah, and then for Gen.G, like. I mean, it's Gen.G.
It's Gen.G.
They just know like how to win, like, and then they're just too good, yeah.
Yeah, they've been running that region for a while now. Inspire, what do you think about First Stand and prepping? Have you started thinking about that, or were you just all focused on this weekend and getting through LCS first?
No, I didn't really think about that. I mean, Gen.G is Gen.G. I don't see us beating them, but maybe, who knows? I did win 2 games against them somehow on FlyQuest.
Yeah, you know?
Against Furex, I feel like their team, like as Berserker said, they make a lot of weird decisions. Like they're an over-aggressive team, in my opinion. So like I'm kind of good at playing against teams like that. So I'll see. I think if they don't get too big of a lead in like early games and stuff like that, maybe in a slow game we could take them. Because I do think we play way differently than all LCK teams. So it might be also a bit shocking for them, I guess, to play against a team like us because we play pretty slow compared to LCK teams. I feel like in LCK they don't really play as slow. They like try to fight a bit more even than we do. So they might get surprised like that some stuff will be given out, or like some stuff will try to contest more. So we'll see how it goes. But I do think they're all really strong individual players, and it might be tough. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I didn't really think about the other regions.
Sure. Well, you had mentioned, in the past, and now even in this answer as well, that the way that the team plays, you'll give up the second, third dragon, you'll get an objective elsewhere, and we see that in the gameplay. You'll put Saint in the side lane, you'll make sure that gold is going in from the turret plates. How do you see that style matching up against? I guess if you haven't seen much tape on the other teams, and you can really speak to LCK, like, do you think that that's something that's your strength, and that's something that they won't be prepared for?
I mean, I wouldn't say that our style is like some sort of style. I just think the way we play is just the best way to play, in my opinion. So I don't know if they will be able to just straight up beat us because they have better hands and better mechanics, because I do believe that for sure that's their strength. Like, they're just insane individual players, and they might go into not the best situation for them, but they will still just play better than us and win. Like, that could easily happen. But I can also see us trying to squeeze advantages from small plays, and we can maybe beat them that way. And I think Genji is like kind of both. I think they have really good hands, but they're also really good at macro. So that team is just really tough to beat. I feel like we got a lot of lead when we played against them as FlyQuest because of the swap meta, and they kind of over-respected us during the swap. And then we like outplay one team fight, and we had a big lead and in 2 of the games. But the games that we lost kind of felt unwinnable, honestly. Like when we lost to Genji, it's like playing against them is you can't make a mistake. Like if you make one mistake, the game is pretty much over. While I feel like against like team like Firex, even if I think we make mistakes, we can still win because they will take the fight no matter what. So
sounds a lot like 100 Thieves.
Yeah, they kind of seem like that. Yeah,
and you did lose to them last year in Split 1, so not to remind you.
True.
Reignover, what do you focus on as a coach going in to first stand to make sure that the team's ready, the team's prepared, and able to match up against any of the competition that you're going to see?
I mean, to be completely like honest and realistic, like, playing against like very good teams is actually where like the teams actually can potentially fall apart or like lose trust, like those kind of things. I mean, I just really want to make sure that doesn't happen to our team. I just want us to, like, despite like the result or like how the games are going, I just want us to be able to get most out of the experience. Like, if we can win, it's beautiful. I actually do think our roster have a pretty good chance. I do think our laners are very strong and competitive enough to even play against, because most of the time when you go international match, like, laning is first like big obstacle that you need to solve. I think our roster can actually do it. And I do think our team is very good at finding when we should fight and when we should not fight. So as long as we surpass laning phase really well and then actually make a good decision on team fight, I do think our team fight, as I said, like, problem solving is really good. So I actually can see us doing something good in the first stand as well. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the focus,
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot because I've been tracking this for a while. It's been like 5 years since we've beaten an LPL or an LCK team in a best of 5. Can you look at that camera right there? Actually, that camera, I think that one's yours. Can you look at that camera and give hope to the NA players? Are we gonna beat an LPL or LCK team in a best of 5? Can we do it? I'm mostly I did. Don't even do it for them. Do it for me.
To be completely honest, like, just how this playoff went. We're just taking step by step, right?
Okay.
Let's just take step by step.
Step by step.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do.
I'm along for the ride.
Let's not do that. Yeah. Let's actually not do that. So
okay.
First of all, let's just whoever we faced first round, just one by one, step by step. If it's Europe, if we can win Europe, I think that would be very nice.
Secret Waves is also pretty good. Like, when I played against them at Worlds, they were pretty competitive.
It feels like everybody's leveling up, and that's like the tough part, is that it's no longer. I still think that there's a big gap for LCK and the rest of the regions that we see visible at international tournaments. But everyone's.
Yeah, I think everyone is leveling up. Like Loud from Brazil, I think Secret Wales. Like, I think those teams are not as free as it used to be. That when you play against like not the highest region, it's like, okay, you will win. But now it feels like you actually have to play really well to win. So we'll see.
Yep.
I think that's good news for global competitive esports, because we no longer have the minor regions. It's now we have these all major regions, and it is the best team from each region really going to represent. So, all right, Berserker, final thoughts. So ahead of first stand for yourself, what are you working on individually as an AD carry right now, heading into an international tournament?
I mean, for me, I mean, we, like Casper already said it. Like, I mean, I should like working better that like in team fighting, I felt like, I mean, I agree that like sometimes I just like playing hyper carry, even I just like play with Ahri or just like hyper champ like mid liner. Like sometimes you should just like baiting for like just like trying to like Ahri can hit someone, but like sometimes I just like I just wanna be the like what's the called main character. So just like
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, also, I mean, that's it,
Well, we're all going to be cheering you guys on because, I mean, First Stand, this is the second year now that we've had First Stand. It's a 1-week tournament. Well, Berserker, have you been to Brazil? Is this going to be your first time traveling to Brazil?
Yeah.
All right, are you excited?
Uh-huh.
Yeah? Are you going to show them around at all?
Probably not. I don't remember much around there. I know the studio. I can show you around the studio there.
There we go. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much for being on, guys. We're going to be cheering you on for the 1-week tournament that is First Stand. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody at home. Don't forget, set your clocks. It's going to be 6 a.m. early start time, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah.
We're going to play, wait, 9 a.m.?
That's when it
starts.
starts, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific.
Okay, what time is it going to be there? Like,
that's a good question. I think it's East Coast. I think it's along there. So it's 8 or 9 a.m. there, maybe even later.
hopefully later.
You know, you're putting me on the spot here. I'm terrible at geography. But either way, for everyone at home, it's going to be 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern on March 16th. So set your calendar, set your alarms, and we'll see you there. Best of luck, guys.
Thank you.